Welcome back to CSC 151, and in this video we're going to go over this first assignment. We're going to go over the task list. So once again, whenever we feel like doing the assignment, preferably doing it on time, please remember to click the assignment, and then you'll see one where the due date is, available attempts, so on and so forth. Please note that this was a previous version of this class, so this date has already passed at some point in time. And a matter of fact, that date was probably extended for someone that needed to get something in, because that, realistically speaking, I only put things 1 week in a open. So once again, there's a download packet here if you want to go and click the download packet. There will also be a video, which obviously you clicked on in order to see this, but just in case you managed to see this in some other way, there you go. So, point being though, when I want to showcase this is I wanted to showcase this is what the finished assignment will probably look like. So obviously, we're using this in Excel. This is right here a task list. Now, some of you probably have task lists on your phone. They probably have it on your computer. We're going to make one in Excel. Why are we going to make one in Excel? Because I'm teaching you Excel in this program, so we're going to make it in Excel, and I like the idea of having real-world parallels, Hey, here's something that might be able to be helpful for you. So, I could just teach you to go and say, click this button, then click this button, and click this button, but let's put an actual real-world tangibility to it. So I'm just going to open up Microsoft Excel. You might see it bouncing down there at the bottom. And I'm just going to make a blank workbook to start this, okay? I'll just go to Create Worksheet. And while I'm at it, let me just minimize some of this stuff out of here, get it out of the way. So, what's the first thing you're going to do whenever you wind up having an assignment? You're going to save, okay? So I'm going to go to File, Save As, or Save. Realistically, save will save it to whatever the current name is. Save As, I get to pick a new name. Considering it's the first time I've done anything with this, save will also work just as well, but I'm just going to go to Save As, just on the safe side. And you'll see that right now I have these little symbols right next to it. Those are your keyboard shortcuts, okay? So I'm on a Mac, so I get the little Mac button right over here. But it's basically telling me Shift, Command, and S together will bring up a save menu. So I hold Shift, Command, S, and a save menu has popped up. Okay? For those of you on a PC, this in theory is, instead of saying Shift, Command, S, it would be Shift, Control, S. Okay? So, and you'll see a bunch of different stuff like that. You'll see like Command A for select all. You'll see Command C for copy, Command V for paste, Command P for print, Command O for open, Command N for new. These are generally universal shortcuts, and if you don't know what they are, you're going to have to, hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, there will be a question on it at some point in time. But key thing here is, how do I save this? And where is it being saved to? This is where this is important, okay? You have no idea how many times I see people that tell me, I know I did the work, I just can't find it. Okay, so don't let that be you. You want to know and understand exactly what is going on with all this and with all this. So right now, I have this going to my documents. And, I could put it on the Forgetful Squirrels website if I really wanted to, but let's not do that. I'm going to, because you see how my folder, my Lincoln Spring 2023 over here, is currently on my desktop. So I know that this folder right here is on my desktop. I will go to my desktop then. Oh, look, there's my Lincoln Spring 2023 folder. Boom. And I know that this video is happening not in spring of 2023, but just go with me. And on that, inside that folder, I have another folder called Videos. And look, there's a video right over there or something. You know what, maybe I should probably make a, actually I'll just leave it in the video thing just for right now. I'll make another folder instead to showcase this. But let me just go and not name it book 1. I will name this, class example. Why not? Class example.xlsx. That is the standard file convention for this. If I got rid of this right here, I run the risk of not having the computer know what type of file it is. Okay? So, if you have a .jpeg, that's telling you what type of file it is. .jpg, it's an image file. If you've got a .wav, that's wave, that's an audio file. You've got a .html, that's hypertext markup language, that's a website. .xlsx is an Excel spreadsheet. Okay? So this little thing that happens after the dot is super important. Do not delete it. Now, realistically speaking, I probably not want to just only put class example. I probably want to put what actual class it is. I probably want to put my name on it, and then also put class example. Make sure that I know exactly what it is, what class it is, whose work it is, what the name of the assignment is. Now you'll notice I used underscores. If you start putting spaces in names, you're going to get some screwy stuff happening. They don't like spaces in names. So put underscores, or, just, realize that whenever you switch from lowercase to capital, you're having a new word. I personally prefer underscores. That's very easy for me to understand. Where's the underscore? Well, you see that little hyphen button? Just hold Shift when you click it, and you'll make an underscore instead. So, now that I hit save, I know where it's going. It's going under Lincoln Spring 2023. It's going in this guy right here. And then when I click it, there's a videos option, and it's going to go in the video folder. So now if I were to test that out, double-click this, and then there's my videos. Oh, look, there it is. It's right there. Now, realistically, I don't want this in the video folder because this file right here is not a video. That does not make sense. So let me just go and make a new folder. Right-click, new folder. Let me put this in examples. There we go. And I'll just go and grab this guy, click and drag it over. Boom, you're now in the example thing instead. And of course, if I really wanted to get fancy, I could right-click this guy and I could say, where is Get Info? Get Info. And this is just all telling me where it is. It's currently on my iCloud Drive, on my desktop, in my Lincoln Spring 2023 under Examples. This is currently where my program is. Now, it's on my iCloud Drive. What is an iCloud Drive, everyone? An iCloud Drive is a drive that's on the cloud. It's on the web, which means even if this computer dies, I still have access to this. I can just log in on another computer. So, if those of you that have Dropbox, hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, you might want to put stuff on Dropbox. If you have a Microsoft account and then you have a drive with Microsoft, hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, put this on your drive. It's not a matter of if your computer is going to die, it's a matter of when your computer is going to die. You want to always make sure that you are saving something in a place where you can recover the data. So if you need to, after you make an assignment, email it to yourself. That way you have a copy in your email. Make sure you have a backup of some form. I see it happen all the time. People lose their work after they've done it. I can't grade something that doesn't exist anymore. So please make sure you don't lose it. And if you're wondering, well, what is this iCloud Drive, desktop, Lincoln? What is all that? What's happening here? Okay, cool. Let me go and open up a little app for you. Let me get a drawing pad. So let's get Sketchpad. Let's get Sketchpad. Sketchpad. Boom! Sketch.io. That's the one I want. Let me make a new page, make it color, create. And let me just make I don't want to have, black on white is such a, let's go with purple. purple line width. There we go. So, I want you to imagine your computer is a house. Okay? And in this house, we obviously have our front door, whatever, and we've got walls. And those walls separate into different, different rooms. However it is we feel like designing this room. Maybe this is the hallway. Got a little closet right over there, or whatever. Boop, boop, boop. These are totally my attempts at drawing doors and being, an architect here. So please ignore all of the terrible thing. But basically, point being, every house has, a kitchen, right? Every house has a bedroom. Everyone has a bathroom, so on and so forth. But these are all just different places in your house. Much like these folders are all different places on your computer. So if I were to go to the C drive, let me just say this is the C drive right here. Well, this is the C drive. This is the D drive. So on and so forth. Undo, undo. But more importantly, where do we store that? We could put a folder inside a folder. So not only is this in, I don't know, I'll say this is the dining room. This is the dining room. Where in the dining room? Well, there's a cabinet right there. There's our cabinet. More specifically, where in the cabinet? Because, maybe our cabinet has multiple shelves. Shelf 1, Shelf 2, Shelf 3. It's in Shelf 1. So, to follow the path here, we have the house. So, house, going to the D drive, going to, the dining room, to the cabinet, to 1. And in 1, there's where our file is. It's just taking the steps. Big thing, smaller thing, smaller thing, smaller thing, smaller thing. All we're doing is giving directions for the computer where to go. And that's the one thing you need to know. Where are you going when you save something? Because you can save something and have no idea where you put it. So don't be that. Make sure you know where you're going. So if you have a situation, let me just undo a bunch of all this. If you just have a situation where you go and you're saving an assignment, make sure that you know where it is. If you're putting it in your folder that has your class for this is your CSC 151 folder, cool. Well, make sure in that folder, maybe you have different things. You have an Excel thing. You got ones for Excel, and you've got another folder for HTML, and you've got another folder for Python or something. Make sure, that your Excel files are then inside your Excel file. Your HTML stuff is inside your HTML folder. Your Python stuff is inside your Python folder. So on and so forth. If we were going to do Microsoft Access, make sure, your Microsoft Access stuff is in there. If we're going to do PowerPoint, boop, 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 we'll make another folder here. Boop, boop, boop. But the point being is that all these files are in a folder. All those folders are in a bigger thing. And I guarantee you this CSC 151 folder is somewhere else. Whether it's on your desktop like I have mine right here, or if it's in your C drive, or if it's in your My Documents area, wherever it is you've put it, make sure you know where that is. That is a very important thing to do. So, I hope that with all this explained that we realize how important it is saving things are. Now then, time to go back to work. So, let me just click the little green button here, get this nice and big. Actually, let's not do that. Let's, because I realized that actually cut off the bottom area down here. So I'm just going to zoom it up a bit, and I'm going to click and increase the scale here just to see this. This is Excel. It is broken up into columns and rows. And the intersection between them is a cell. So this right here is in column C, row 4. Ergo, this cell right here is cell C4. And you'll even see that right over here. There's C4. Doesn't even matter if I type, whatever it is I want to type in there. That right there is cell C4. This is cell A1, B2, B3, F3, E9, so on and so forth. And it might look like this data goes all the way across into D. It does not. It's all inside D4. It's all inside C4. There's my information right there. It's all inside C4. If I click on D4 over here, you'll notice there's no information right up here in this bar. It's blank. It's empty. There's nothing there. If I put like a 7 there, boom, there's a 7. But now you'll notice that information that I had right over there kind of got cut off. This is what's known as a bleeding cell. We don't really want to have bleeding cells. So what we can do is we can, pull these things over by simply hovering the mouse in between two columns, clicking and dragging, and I can make things as big or as small as I want. Same thing with columns and rows. If I hover in between rows, I can make things bigger or smaller, however I see fit. And we'll be using stuff like that later on, but let's just delete that, and let's get working here. So, first things first, let's put our name on this sheet, okay? Let's put the name of this assignment on the sheet or whatever. So you'll see that there's a sheet here. When I click this plus button, it'll make a sheet 2, and then it'll make a sheet 3, sheet 4. I can right-click these guys, and I can delete them. Right-click, delete, right-click, delete. So I'm just going to keep my one sheet. But in theory, we're going to have multiple things here eventually, because we're going to build off of these assignments. I'm just going to double-click this, or I could right-click it and hit rename. Either one. So I'm going to go to rename, and I'm just going to name this task list, and I'll put this as David, because David's the person that's doing this, okay? Realistically, put your last name on it, because, there's many, many more Davids in the world than there are Monticchios in the world. But Monticchio is 10 letters long, and I'm being lazy today for some reason. Other thing, let's put our name on these assignments. And let's put the actual, let me also capitalize the D in my name. And also let me go and put today's date. Today is January, February, March, April, May, June, July. 7, 22, 23. Let's put today's date on it as well. Whatever date it is you're working on this. Why am I putting my name in multiple places? Hence, the name up here in the file, the name right here on the first thing, and the name down there. To help protect myself from plagiarism. You'll be surprised how many times I see people who hand in work that has someone else's name on it. Trust me, if someone is going to take the easy way out and cheat, they are not going to be observant and remember to change all the different places you've put your name on it. So, that helps you with that. Also, it's in the syllabus. You're literally getting points for putting your name and your date on stuff. So it's easy points. Now then, how are we going to make our task list? Well, if we take a look back at the, let me go back to Firefox here. We take a look at this task list. We've got ourselves a couple of things. We've got categories. We've got a priority, a task, and a materials needed. And we have ourselves this big area right here that's, connected. So, let's do that, okay? And how we're going to do that is with this area up at the top called the ribbon. You see my mouse shaking over here? Home, insert, draw, page layout, that sort of stuff. This is what's known as the ribbon. These are the things that we can go and change about stuff. So under the Review tab, I've got stuff like spelling and a thesaurus. Under Formulas, I have mathematical equations that I can use. Under the Page Layout, I can take a look at the size of the page, what direction it is, if I want to have a background. Under Draw, I can literally draw on the page with like a highlighter. Under Insert, I can add pictures and other stuff. We're going to stick on the home page on this one. Now, if you by any chance you accidentally double click this, it will go away. Just click it again, it comes back. Click it, goes away, click it, comes back. Now, we could, if we really wanted to, go all the way into our preferences, and we could go to the ribbon and toolbar, and we could make our own custom, find all this, like, oh, look, we got developer tools, coding, add-ins, controls. We could go and change so much stuff and make a new tab, make all this other stuff. We're not going to mess with that. We're just going to stick with the stuff that's already up here. Sorry about that. I'm getting over a sinus infection. So, first things first, let's make a nice title. So, you'll notice that in this example that I have here, I have a big giant font that says David Monticchio's task list. Let's do that. Let's go and say, David Monticchio's task list. Now, obviously here, I have a problem. I have bleeding cells. This data is going into two different cells. So first things first, let me just select these by simply clicking and holding and selecting those 3 cells. Or if I wanted to, I could click, hold the shift button, and use the arrow keys. See how I'm able to move things around even without the mouse moving? So either way, I can either click and drag, or I can hold the shift key and use the arrows. So first things first, there's a button here that says merge and center. That will do what it says. It will merge and center the 3 cells. There we go. If I click it again, it will unmerge those 3 cells. Boom, boom, boom. Now, if by any chance you have information on more than one cell, and I try to merge and center these, a warning label will pop up and say that it will only keep the upper leftmost value. Upper leftmost value here happens to be a 1. So the 1 will remain, but the 2 and the 2 are gone. Even when I unmerge them, they're still gone. So make sure that if you're merging something, you don't accidentally delete a bunch of stuff. Make sure that whatever it is you want is the upper leftmost data. So there we go. I've merged and centered it. But at the same time, I also don't quite like that font. So let me just go and mess around with this. I'll click the font, as I don't know, I'll go to, there we go, a script. There we go, now I've got a scripty font. And that's just right here under that. And I can go and select some preset defaults, like maybe make this 18-point font. But I can also do a font up, which is the A with the up. And I can do a font down with the A with the down. Now, obviously here, as I do that, my information is getting cropped out here. So I probably want to, stretch this down, click in between those things, or I can double click in between a column or in between a row, and it'll try to snap itself into place the best it can. So I'll just go and stretch this guy out like that. There we go. So I've got column B, column C, column D, and I've got my title surrounded around it like that. Now, let me just go and take a look and see what I've got here. Boom, boom. Okay, cool. So maybe I wanted to make that a little bit bigger. So let me just go and make that a little bit bigger here. Boop, 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 boop. Now you'll notice here, even though this giant cell right here, this text is all at the bottom of that cell. Well, those are the 3 alignment tools. Well, the 6 alignment tools. I've got one for top, middle, and bottom. I've also got one for left, center, and right. So if I want bottom right, I can do that. If I want top right, I got that. If I want top left, I got that. I'm going to just make this middle, middle. Okay? Make it smack dab in the middle like that. There we go. So now I've made myself a title. And I can, maybe change the font color of the title as well if I really wanted to make that purple, since I love making things purple. But let me just go and keep it at black right now, because we'll get into that later. We'll get into the colors later. So I've merged and centered this. Boom, there we go. Let me just zoom out a bit. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make myself the categories. Because how many people here, we're making a task list. How many people have ever done the thing where they say, I'm going to go to the store, go to the store, go to the store, and then you get to the store and you forgot what you wanted to buy? That's because in your head you were saying, go to the store, go to the store, go to the store. That was the mission you were remembering. So, in the future, whenever you make a task list, whether it be for this class or your professional career or other classes or just any other thing you need to do, like, I know I need to take the dog out for another walk sometime today, and I know I need to make more videos. So, obviously, sort of stuff like that. But there's going to be three things. You're going to have a priority to the task. You're going to have a task itself, and you're going to need stuff. You're going to need materials. You're going to need materials needed for the project, okay? So, boom, boom, boom. Those are our three. Let me just stretch you out there. Boom. Those are the three things that we're going to need. A priority, a task, and a material. And while I'm at it, let me just go and make those guys, underline, bold, italic? Sure, why not? Underline, bold, italic. Let's see here. What do I got here? Nope, I didn't do italic on them. I just did underline and bold. So let me just go click that guy and click the I for italics and click it off. There we go. They're bold and italic. But the tasks we're going to need are specific. So it's not going to go to store. It's going to be buy eggs, buy milk, buy cheese, buy bread. They're going to be specific. So I'm going to make myself a couple of tasks. I know I need to walk Frankie again. I know I need to record videos. I know I need to post videos YouTube. And I know I'm going to need to make myself a playlist. Create playlist for these videos. Now, somewhere else in this, I'm also going to need to, at some point in time over the week, I'm going to need to buy groceries. And groceries. I know I need to buy groceries. I need to buy food. Let me just say that. I need to buy food. That's really what I need. I need to buy food. Right now, I don't care what type of food, but I'll make a specific list for the food later when I actually go on my food hunt. What else do I need to do today? Now, realistically, you guys put things in, for like what you need to do for the week. So, things like, for me, grading papers will definitely be something I'll need to do. Not yet, though, because none of you have actually submitted anything to hand in yet. But I'll need to, I'll need to, check Canvas. Stuff like that. I'll need to do stuff like this. So basically, I've got myself my tasks. While I'm at it, let me italics those, just for the sake of italicizing them. Because what we're secretly learning, hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, is where things are located in this ribbon right up here. Bold, italic, underline. And we can change it from underline to double underline if we really want to by clicking that down arrow. And, what materials do we need for these events? Okay, that's easy enough to figure out. I mean, to walk Frankie, I know I need, I need a leash. And I also need his muzzle because he likes to eat rocks. And I don't want him eating rocks. Recording videos. Well, I need my computer, obviously. Post video, also need computer, Buy food. My car is currently being used by my fiance, and she will be away all week. So I need Kit's car. I need the neighbor's car. So I'm going to need Kit's car, and I'm also going to need. I'm going to need money, obviously. So I'm going to need my wallet. And let me just put wallet instead of money there. And you know what I'm also going to need? I'm also going to need bags. I'm going to need grocery bags, obviously. And let me just stretch that out there. There we go. And grade papers, I'll need my computer. For this, I'll need my computer as well. I've generally got all the stuff that I need for my things. Now, here's where priority comes into play. Because how many people know that one person? They do so many things. So many things, so many things, so many things. But the one important thing that you really wanted them to do, the one thing that was actually integral to everything, they haven't done. Yeah, that's why we're going to put priority on this. Now, the priorities are going to just simply be A, B, and C. A is going to be for something that you need to do today. B is something that you need to do within a couple of days. C is it'll be next week. I need to make sure I walk Frankie today. I really don't need to record videos today. I mean, I've got a month until, the classes start, I think. So, I've got a couple of days I could wait if I really needed to. If some catastrophic thing happened, I could postpone recording videos. I don't really need to make a playlist. That's something I could make a C, but I'll put that as a B. Food. I really need to buy food in the next couple of days. Grading papers, though. Guess what? None of you are even in class yet. I've got a month. This is a C. And check Canvas. I'll put that as a B. I need to do that in every couple of days anyway. So now I've got my priorities. What's most important? What's least important? And let's just, grab these guys that are, make those in middle, make those middle, make you a right. Basically, so we visually see priority A is on the one side, priority B is in the middle, priority C is on the other side. Point being, we have a visual distinction between what's most important to what's least important. And that is generally, like that. Now, other than this, obviously, I have a few things I need to do. Like, I need to make myself a border. This is kind of, all just smushed together here. So, let me just go and grab some things, and next to that bold, italic, and underline, there's a border. I can go and say a bottom border, top border. I'm going to put a border on the left. Now you'll see there's a line, a thin line, but there's a line right there. I'll grab that same stuff, and this time I'll put a border at the right. Boom. Now there's a border there and a border there. Let me just grab these guys, and let me put a border on the top. And we can go into more technical stuff about making these borders dashed lines or making them super thick, so on and so forth. We can literally go in and just go to more borders, and we can manually decide the options. Make a thick border on the left, make a double line border on the right, make a top border that's the sort of the dot, dash, dot, dash, dot, dash. We can do all sorts of fun stuff and make it all different. We're not going to go that in depth, okay? We're just going to pick the general already existing tools. Okay? But just know that you could. Matter of fact, you could even make it go across, boop and boop like that. But, there's always an option for more options. And that's generally a task list. Now, I'm going to hit save again just to make sure. Always be saving your work. Once again, it's not a matter of if something dies, it's a matter of when. So save, I did Command S. And now I'm also going to go to the page layout option here. Because page layout has this lovely little stuff. It has the print area, the size, margins. It also has page setup. Nope, not page setup. What button is it? Breaks, print area, size, margins, normal, wide, narrow, orientation, size, print area? No, I don't want to set the print area. Where'd they move it to? Is it on review? Workbook statistics. Is it under view? It's under view. It's not page layout, it's view. It's under the view tab. See, everyone? It's not that computers are easy. It's that there's always something in the wrong place or in a place you didn't think it was. I say it every semester. There's going to be something that makes me look like an idiot every single class. So right now it happens to be the view button. So right now we're in a normal view. But if I were to go to page layout, now it tells me what this would look like if it were to print out on a page. And obviously right here, this is how it would look. So if I want to do, I don't know, beep, 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 maybe move some stuff around. Oh, not like that. But if I wanted to, you know, maybe stretch this out a bit, stretch this out a bit, stretch this out a bit, you know, basically if I wanted to, you know, select all this and say, guess what, guys? You're now going to go increase in size a little bit. You're going to increase in size as well. I can go and see how far I could push this before it winds up printing a second page. Because generally speaking, do you want a task list to be in such a way where, you know, the information is on one page and then your materials needed are on the second page? No. So just always go back in, make sure that whatever it is you're working on, whoops, let me undo, undo, undo. Make sure that whatever it is we're working on has itself, let me, boop, boop. Make sure that it's always going to be able to fit on one page. So that's something you always want to make sure. So always take a look and make sure that whatever it is, it's working on one page. And you'll be able to see, yay, that's what the page looks like. Boom, that's how it works. So once again, save. And of course, if I were to go back into Canvas at this point in time, and if I were to, once again, close all that out, if I were to submit an assignment, I would be going down here to, well, it's not currently open, but I would click down here, and I would go and click my assignment, so I could go and say, like, you know, I would find where my assignment is, like there's my example, click it. I could probably click and drag it into the submission slot and hit submit, and then we'll go through like that. I want the .xlsx file. I want that. I want that. That is the important thing. Don't send me a picture. I can't grade a picture. Why can't I grade a picture? Here's why I can't grade a picture. So let me go back to the view here and switch it back to a normal view. So if I were to say 2 plus 2, obviously it doesn't do anything. But if I say equal 2 plus 2, gives me a 4. Now, that 4 is not literally me typing 4. This is me typing 4. See how this is a 4 right up there in that little bit right there? That's me typing 4. This guy, see how it says it's equal 2 plus 2? That's what it is. That's an equation. Okay? I can't double-click a cell and see an equation. In a picture, this 4 and this 4 will look exactly the same. But I double-click this guy, oh, it's just a 4. I double-click this guy, oh, that's actually an equation. I want to be able to see your equations when we get to doing these. So always, always, always send me the XLSX file, okay? That's what I want. And yeah, so that's how it would wind up going. Now, I know that's a bit of a long-winded explanation for this video. I promise you, other videos will not be this long. I had to make sure that I talked about saving as well in this video and make sure everyone understood how to save, what they were saving it as, where to save stuff to, that sort of stuff. I wanted to make sure that that baseline was there. The actual assignment itself, as you see, is, you know, there's honestly not that much to do in the actual assignment, okay? And a lot of these assignments are going to be like that. There's not actually all that much to do. It's just a matter of, here we go. Let's do it. So, and what did we learn today? We learned bold, italic, underlined, sizes, changing font types, changing the orientation, you know, the alignment, top, middle, bottom, left, right, center. We learned how to merge and center a few things. You know, we learned a little bit about borders. We learned a little bit about this toolbar right up here, known as the ribbon. And that's generally what we're going to be working in to stylize these pages as we go. And we did it in a way that involves a a pseudo-realistic example of something that you might have to do in your everyday life. Make a task list. You know, the next video will be making a calendar. One of them will be, you know, calculating a budget for yourself. So on and so forth. Things that will help you in your everyday life. So, thank you very much. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.